Retired Deputy Justice Judge Dikgang Moseneke has concluded a two-day visit as head of the facilitation team in Lesotho. Lesotho Deputy Prime Minister Monyane Moleleki accompanied the facilitator to the launch of Public District Consultation in the northern districts of Lesotho, where he witnessed people express their views and their outcomes of the Lesotho reforms process.
Lesotho's reforms process is finally taking shape. Discussions have now left the corridors of the power and headed to the deep rural outskirts of Lesotho, where ordinary Basotho can own and dictate the Lesotho they want. This time, the facilitator and his high-level panel became mere observers and listened carefully as Basotho aired their views, this time on how judges should be hired. We strongly urge that the laws be tightened such that they are hired purely on their skills and training, and never to be appointed only to shield the politicians when things get rough. And we see that His Majesty is now someone who is merely being advised on decision-making. We now want him to have a say and actually be the one who has a final say. And others have had enough with political leaders that split and jump to form new parties exclusively to advance personal ambitions and gains. And when Dadam Sisiri felt the pressure in his party, he was quick to hatch another party. Right as we speak, it is Prime Minister Thabane. We are busy telling him not to even think about forming another. While the reforms process seemed to be moving like a well-oiled machine, the current power tussles within the ruling party SABC are threatening the stability of the kingdom. The early closing of parliament has left many wondering if the Prime Minister may not exercise his powers to another snap elections, thus interrupting the reforms process.
And if it were to be interrupted, we'll make sure that it resumes, because the reforms now, having gone to the districts, are owned by Basotho collectively, and I do not think any change of government would actually stop or stand in the way of the reform process.
The presence today of the leader of the facilitation team confirms that this matter is taken very seriously, and I'd like to encourage all Basotho, all our neighbors in the SADC countries as well as in the international community to take note that this process is taken seriously and therefore it's unstoppable.
It is expected that after thorough considerations of all consultations, the second plenary session will be held in June. The outcomes of the meeting will pave a way for the final report, which will be presented at all stakeholders in July and ultimately to be tabled to SADC, thus paving a way to a more peaceful and prosperous Lesotho. Rapelang Khatebe, SABC News, Mafeteng, Lesotho.